UnderDog Fantasy has been an absolute cash cow for us these last couple of months. My name is Angelo. This is We Want Picks, and I'm going to show you how to make money playing UnderDog Fantasy. If you don't know what UnderDog Fantasy is, it's daily fantasy. It's not gambling. It is daily fantasy. You come in here, you say higher or lower than the numbers you see on the screen, you tie them together, and you can make a 20 money. You can 20 times your money. You can 10 times your money. You could even lose and still make money. They will give you free money to play. The only thing you need to do to get that free money is go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP and they will instantly match your deposit. If you give them $20, they'll give you $20. If you give them $100, they will give you $100 instantly that you can use. You don't even need to use the real money. You can just use the deposit match money, build an entry, win, and then withdraw all of that money. No rollovers, no weird commitments. wewantpicks.com/underdog, promo code WWP. I'm going to go ahead and walk through UFC St. Louis. But you can see on the left, there's all sorts of different sports here. All the sports, women's soccer, even bare knuckle fighting. So you can mix and match sports, build your own entries, do whatever you want. I'm going to focus on UFC. I will say this is a tricky card. There's a lot of fights that could go in multiple different directions. There's a lot of fights that might end early or fully can go to a decision. There's a lot of fights with some tricky matchups. I found 3 lines that I like quite a bit. 3 lines that I'm going to build an entry with that I'm pretty sure will make us some money. If we look at the main event, we got Derek Lewis. Anytime you look at a Derek Lewis fight, that thing might end in a minute, or it might be a sloppy mess for the full 25 minutes, just like his last fight was. If you think he knocks out Rodrigo Nascimento, you can grab it. They think that's what happens, which is why it's not a full double your money, it's a 0.9x. If you really want to shoot your shot, if you really want to shoot to the moon, they will 15.5 times your entire entry for throwing Derek Lewis by submission in there. Do not do that. That is a trap. Joaquin Buckley, co-main event. This is one of the toughest fights of both of these gentlemen's careers. We don't necessarily know what his opponent's going to look like at 170. He's been to 170 before, but he hasn't been to 170 in the UFC, the biggest stage of his career and the biggest fight of his career in a lower weight class. We don't know what that's going to look like, so this fight could go multiple different directions. We'll leave that alone. Carlos Ulberg. I think the higher on night and fight minutes is good to go. Hey, let's go ahead and add it. It's not in my original entry, but let's go ahead and add it. I think this fight likely goes a little bit longer. Both of these gentlemen are pretty durable. They both can finish. Carlos Ulberg's been finishing everybody. He's on a 4-fight finish streak, and he has been doing it somewhat early. But I do think that this fight goes just a smidge longer than his previous fights. Mateusz Rebecki, the Wrestle King. Nobody has ever called him that outside of me right now. But Mateusz Rebecki is a wrestle-heavy guy. He's going to get his takedowns. If you look at his opponent gets taken down a ton. He stands up, and then he gets taken down again. That only bodes well for us and this line. I did the Prize Picks breakdown in the previous video. Prize Picks has it at 2.5 takedowns. They haven't moved the underdog line yet. It is still at 2 takedowns, so I like that quite a bit because if he gets exactly 2, it just is just the payout. It doesn't count as a loss. If it's at 2.5 and he gets 2 takedowns, that's obviously a loss. And then we have Sean Woodson. What I did like with Sean Woodson and what I continue to like with Sean Woodson is the higher on significant strikes. This is another one. Prize Picks has moved that line to 74.5. 5 strikes more than what you have here. At 69.5 significant strikes, I like the higher there. I think him and Bruce Leroy or Alex Caceres, it's a striking match 99% of that fight, and he will piece up Alex Caceres. Alex is a durable guy, which only gets us to where we need to be with the over on the significant strike down. Robelis Despain, the giant 6'7" Taekwondo Olympian that is knocking people out inside of 10 seconds, not touching it. Toughest fight of his career, biggest stage of his career. I'm not touching that in any way whatsoever. Vyacheslav Borshev, another tricky situation. He can knock out Chase Hooper. He can get submitted in 30 seconds. I'm going to leave that alone. That can go to a decision. We're going to leave that alone. Diego Fajeda, we already got the other side with Mateusz Rebecki. Nursultan Ruzaboyev, the same complications that we have if we're going to go ahead and jump on the other side of that with Joaquin Buckley. Let's work our way down to Esteban Ribovics, the higher on 25.5 significant strikes. I think Esteban Ribovics, I think I said that wrong. I think Esteban Ribovics ends up dragging this fight out just a tiny bit, but 25.5 significant strikes is not a lot. Even if he finishes Terrence McKinney, there will be a flurry. He'll drop him. He'll get him wobbled, and he will throw like crazy, and there will be a busy flurry that will help get past this number. And even if he doesn't finish him early, because Esteban Ribovics isn't exactly the most dangerous guy on the planet, we're going to cruise past this number as well. I do like the 25.5 significant strikes. The Carlos Ulberg one, I just added. This wasn't the entry that I had up for premium members. I just added that over 9 fight minutes. Mateusz Rebecki, over 2 takedowns. Sean Woodson, over 69.5 significant strikes. Esteban Ribovics, over 25.5 significant strikes. If you go to live and pick them, you will see this entry that I just walked you through minus that Carlos Ulberg line. If you like this entry, fantastic. If you don't like this entry, that's fine too. Get your free money. Get your free money and build your own entry. It'd be foolish not to build an entry with free money from them. Go to wewantpicks.com/underdog. Use promo code WWP. And join the Discord. In the Discord, we have a channel dedicated to daily fantasy. Hop in there. Share your entry. Pick people's brains. Let's all make this money together. Get your free money. wewantpicks.com/underdog. Promo code WWP.